Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to Randomly Random. I am Kwame, your internet bestie. Today, we are diving into a Japanese short film titled The Beauty Tax. The plot: there's a town where the girls pay a beauty tax. The more beautiful you are, the more tax you pay. Grab your snacks and let's get into it.
Hi, Mystery Recapped here. Today, I am going to explain a Japanese short film called The Beauty Tax. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins in a Japanese office where the manager yells at everyone for not being good enough at their jobs. However, when a beautiful woman, Aiko, makes a mistake, he lets her off the hook and even apologizes for being rude. Aiko's coworkers are not very fond of her because no matter how hard they work, the manager only ever favors her. Not just at work, but wherever they go, people give Aiko extra attention. At lunch, only she gets a complimentary pudding. While returning home from work, a salesman gives her 2 packets of free products, while the others get 1 packet per 2 people. For Aiko, it is a normal day because she is used to getting special treatment. Somewhere else, in a press conference, the Prime Minister announces that the financial condition...
The pretty privilege of it all. I mean, if my first question generally for the whole plot of this movie is, what about the handsome men? Why are only girls paying taxes? Why are only girls paying taxes? And if I were her co-workers, I would be mad too. Why should I put in all this work just for you to be praised just because of your beauty? It's different if she was beautiful and also putting in the work. But she clearly made a mistake. And her manager just let it go because what? She's beautiful? This world and its standards. And it's so funny because we've all experienced pretty privilege in some form, you know, even if you don't think you are the most beautiful in some way, because, you know, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. In some way, some part of you somebody thought was beautiful, gave you some sort of advantage. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Not necessarily physically, but some part of you that maybe somebody thought was beautiful gave you some sort of advantage, some form of advantage in some way. If you really think about it deeply, we've all had a pretty privileged past in a way, you know? Let's continue.
...of the country is in a complicated situation. Hence, to cope with this problem, the government has decided to enforce a new law in which the attractive women of the country will have to pay a beauty tax. The protesters in the audience claim that this is modern-day systemic discrimination against women, but the Prime Minister claps back, saying that beautiful women receive a lot of financial privileges, which is not fair for ugly people. He declares that the law will soon be enforced.
Wait, how silly is this? I feel like, shouldn't the ugly women be happy about this? The only thing that I agree on them is that why is it for only women? As I was saying before, why aren't handsome men being taxed? Because handsome men by all means also receive certain advantages because they are handsome. And so that is the part where I agree with them on that. But generally, I feel like the ugly women who have been shunned, being treated weirdly because they are not beautiful, should be happy. Let's continue.
And the ones who try to avoid the beauty tax will be punished. Beautiful women probably have nothing to worry about, as they don't have to pay for anything to begin with. Some days later, Aiko is approached by a man who offers her a modeling job for a beauty salon. Her colleagues, jealous of her popularity, walk away. As Aiko follows them, the camera pans towards a newspaper headline that says the beauty tax has been enacted. When the three go for lunch that day, Aiko's co-workers pay 1,000 yen for their food.
sure they'll be so happy when
However,
they find out
Aiko
that she's
is
paying
asked
more.
to stand in front of a scanning device. The device is supposed to scan women and measure what percentage of tax they should pay, according to their beauty. Aiko poses for the machine, and it scans her face. The results say that she is the second level of beauty, so she should pay 20% beauty tax. Her total comes out to 1,200 yen, which she reluctantly pays. The restaurant that used to provide her with free complimentary dessert.
Guys, honestly, I'm just thinking about it. Imagine if this really happened in the world. I'm sure some of us who think like we are the average, standard of beauty in society would be so happy. But then it's sort of weird because what exactly is the standard of beauty? What exactly is the standard of beauty? Like, how are they measuring the beauty? Is it the symmetry of the face? Is it the nose? Is it the skin? Like, what exactly the hair? What exactly is the value, the measurement of the beauty? Because what if the first day you go, the machine scans you and thinks you are not beautiful, right? Because maybe you have a messy hair or something, I don't know. And then the second time you go, the machine sees you as beautiful. Maybe you have your face done with makeup, your hair slayed, everything on point. Like, is this going to be a standard measurement of beauty? Is there a standard measurement of beauty? Or it's like, as and when, But this is funny. This plot is funny. Let's continue.
Is now making her pay extra just because she is beautiful. Later, while buying a bottle of water, Aiko again has to pay more than a normal person. Likewise, all the pretty girls of the nation, according to the level of their attractiveness, have to pay a certain amount of tax. The news reporters interview common people about their thoughts on the tax enactment, and people seem to be quite happy about it. One man claims that he has spent a lot of money on pretty girls, so it is only fair if they have to pay more taxes than him. Another not-so-pretty girl states that the beautiful ones were getting pampered, so it is only appropriate if they have to pay more. Before the law was enacted, many people thought of it as discrimination towards women, but after it was enforced, the people have changed sides. Now, most of the nation is in...
Yeah, I would change sides too if I'm paying less. Okay, but the fact is that they are not necessarily paying less than they were before. Everybody is paying what they are supposed to pay, but only the beautiful girls are paying higher. I'm sure most of the people are paying what they used to pay all the time. But what used to annoy them is that the beautiful people, the beautiful girls used to pay lesser. Because remember that even Ayoki, whatever her name is, whenever she went to the restaurants, they gave her an extra, appetizer and all of that and left her friends, her colleagues. But now, she's paying more than they'll ever pay, So, yeah.
Favor of the beauty tax. The next day, Aiko receives her paycheck and excitedly opens it, only to be disappointed. The money on the check is a lot less than her actual salary. She goes to the manager with the concern and finds out that the beauty tax also applies to her salary, which means she will get 20% less than what she used to.
Torture.
The manager calmly explains to her that it is not his fault, but the government's. To make her feel better, he offers to treat her with meals whenever he can. Enraged by the discrimination, Aiko and the other beautiful women of the city hold up signs and protest at the tax enforcement office. The man there asks them to go away because the decision has been made and it is definite. Aiko retaliates that this is the worst form of discrimination, but the man claps back, claiming that they have had the pretty privilege.
It wasn't discrimination. When they were being given extra food, being pampered at work, being given extra passes for their incompetence and unsatisfactory work ethic. It wasn't discrimination then, was it? This plot is just too funny. Imagine if this really happened in real life. It wasn't discrimination when they were getting extra ice creams, having their transportation fares being paid for them just because they were beautiful, was it? But all of a sudden, it's discrimination. When they were being pampered, being given extra food and all that, did they ever speak up for the ugly people who were being mistreated? Did they see that as discrimination towards the ugly people? So now that they are bearing the brunt, or experiencing the effect, another effect of their beauty, they are mad all of a sudden. Please get out of here.
He asks Aiko to give it a thought and dismisses the matter. When Aiko thinks about it, she slowly begins to realize she has had pretty privilege all her life. She remembers when she was little. She broke a flower pot once. The adults used to get mad at the children for doing the same thing, but their reaction was different for her. In college, her friends didn't let her pay for meals anytime they went out, just because of her beauty. And even now, at work, her boss pardons all of her mistakes, but he gets annoyed when others do the same. Back in the present, the officer states that beautiful girls like her have always had social and economical benefits, which are unfair to others. Hence, the beauty tax is a reasonable law that ensures fairness.
Then, right?
To make Aiko feel better, he adds that her beauty has been recognized throughout the country by the standards set by the government. Looking at the situation from a different perspective, Aiko starts to feel better about the 20% tax. The narrative changes when the girls who pay higher taxes start to be seen as the better ones in society. Aiko even goes to a reality television show and expresses her happiness at being one of the few.
So now they are still benefiting from the pretty privilege. They are still benefiting from it. Oh, Lord.
People who pay 20% beauty tax. The girls say that they are being asked out often at restaurants and bars when guys find out that they pay beauty tax. Even at Aiko's work, her popularity skyrockets, and she starts being known as the girl who pays 20% beauty tax. Unlike her previous interaction with restaurant cashiers, now Aiko is delighted to pay more money for being beautiful. Her manager calls her when he has important business meetings.
So basically, it has given them another sense of cocky. Another sense of I'm better than you. It has just backfired. I feel like they are playing psychological games on the government, because now it's more like the government has sort of like upped their price, upped their value, made them look like they are better than everybody, which is the same effect. It's still the same effect it will have on all the other people that people think are ugly. Oh, no, goodness.
And his business partner signs the papers without hesitation after seeing Aiko's beautiful face. While purchasing things, she makes sure to emphasize that she pays a 20% tax to those around her who only pay 5%. When Aiko receives her paycheck, instead of getting mad, she is flattered and considers it the fate of a beautiful woman. She is thriving more than ever until Raiko Tajima.
Hey, if you can't beat them, join them. They are trying to make you mad. Make it work for you, Be delusional about it. That's exactly what she's doing. I can see a new woman is in town. Let's see what happens.
Arrives at her office. Raiko pays 25% beauty tax, making her more beautiful than Aiko.
Aiko has some competition.
Her colleagues all follow Raiko around, claiming that she is prettier than any celebrity they have seen. Aiko is stung by jealousy to see all the men drool over Raiko because she is used to being the center of attention. She vows to be prettier than Raiko in some days.
These people have self-control?
Then she starts to exercise day and night in hopes of losing weight. She also goes to spas daily and receives several.
Okay, so what? The beauty standard of measurement is like their weight? Is that what it is? But the machine only scans their faces. So why is she working on her whole body? Like, is she trying to say they are not fat, beautiful people in the town where they are?
Expensive facial treatments. After a lot of hard work, she goes to a restaurant and scans herself to find out that she now has to pay 30% tax. Aiko jumps in happiness to have finally gotten prettier than Raiko. But when she looks at her bank balance, her happiness vanishes to see only 2 yen left. Her day gets worse when she hears about Raiko's plastic surgery. At first, she believes Raiko might have gotten plastic surgery to be prettier, but is shocked when she gets a look at her face. Raiko had surgery to become less attractive. She looks completely different than she used to.
She don't want all the
It turns
taxes,
out that her
people.
fiancé left her because she was too expensive to take care of. As Aiko thinks that her day couldn't get worse, she is summoned by her manager, who informs her
They
that
can't
she has been
afford her
fired.
anymore.
It turns out that the company had to pay more taxes for every beautiful employee, and to cut the unnecessary expenditure, they have decided to fire all the beautiful people.
I cannot
Soon,
this
the
movie.
narrative around the beauty tax changes again. Beauty products that make women seem uglier start selling out. The people who were proud to pay more because of their beauty start making themselves uglier to keep their jobs. Moreover, men start to avoid beautiful women because their cost of living is too damn high. One day,
This
Aiko
movie
is
is
in
so
the bar,
hilarious.
distressed about her life. A man approaches her and offers help to get her taxes lowered. Before she can continue the conversation, Aiko gets a call from their family lawyer. It turns out that her dead mother has left her with a lot of wealth that she inherited from her uncle. However, the beauty tax also applies to inheritances. Since Aiko's mother was also very beautiful,
Oh,
the
no.
inheritance amounts to negative 1 million yen.
Then what was the
meaning
point of
that
the
if
lawyer
Aiko wants to
contacting
claim
her?
the inheritance, she will have to pay the government and receive nothing. At night, Aiko goes to the bar again and meets the same guy. He introduces himself as Nonomura. Aiko and Nonomura get closer while
Is he a
talking.
plastic surgeon?
He suggests she make herself look ugly to avoid taxes and even hands her fake thick eyebrows. Aiko is a little skeptical because avoiding paying taxes might put her in jail, but Nonomura assures her many girls
Girl, this is the point. You need to work smarter, not harder. If he's giving you fake eyebrows to make you look ugly, better put it on immediately. Immediately. Because why? Why are you even having reservations about this? Do you still want to be jobless, unemployed, paying taxes left and right, giving all the inheritance your mom left to the government, who contributed probably nothing to her gaining her wealth? Maybe they did, but you see, a part of her still does not want to lose that pretty privilege. The feeling of walking into a room and being the only one who has all the attention of everyone. You know, the feeling of walking into a restaurant and just being hogged on by everybody. She still doesn't want to lose that sense because it helps her feel better. You know, it helps her feel like she's better maybe than everybody else. Or it just like helps her confidence, you know?
do the same. The next day, Aiko draws thick lashes and freckles all over her face. As a man with thick brows and freckles, this offends me. She also hides her beautiful hair with a short wig and adds a huge mole to her nose. The tax officer is startled to see her come in. She claims that she has been stressed because of her mother's death and has gained some weight. The officer scans her, and the machine declares her ugly. He finally takes Aiko off the pretty women list, which means she will no longer have to pay for the inheritance tax. Thinking that all of her problems are solved, she rushes outside and calls Nonomura. He congratulates her and invites her to meet his parents in a nice dress. Aiko understands that the man is interested in her and smiles to herself. She is happy that even in a time like this, someone is in need of her beauty. On the day they are supposed to go out, Aiko excitedly does her makeup. However,
wait, what if he wants her to come looking ugly?
Her plans go in vain when two policemen knock on her door and arrest her for trying to be ugly to avoid paying taxes.
Wow.
They also inform her that Nonomura is a notorious marriage swindler who covets the inheritance of beautiful women. It turns out that he was never interested in her beauty and was only trying to get her inheritance. Aiko is then sentenced to 2 years in prison. She is depressed and alone as her life has taken a
2 years for one attempt, attempting just once to be called ugly. Okay.
turn for the worse.
Wait, but if she's in prison, she doesn't get to pay taxes, right? Because rather other people's taxes, the other free beautiful people's taxes are helping her out in prison. So I guess it's a win. Plus she was unemployed. I'm sure in prison she's fed. And I'm sure the prison does not get to see a lot of beautiful people like her. Who knows? So maybe she's treated well in the prison too, unless in prison too she pays taxes and for some reason gets less quality food, which I doubt.
Her only friend in the prison is her cellmate, who is also in for trying to be ugly and avoiding taxes. As they talk, Aiko wishes that she was born ugly. If only her nose was 1 centimeter shorter, her life might have turned out differently. But her cellmate advises her to never turn away from reality. She claims that they both are unhappy right now because of their dull hearts, not because of their beauty. According to her, they were too focused on having a pretty face, and they forgot to keep their heart happy. Aiko is inspired by her new friend's words. She vows to work on beautifying her heart when she gets out. Cut to 2 years
Why
later,
don't you just stand
Aiko
out?
is finally let out of
Why
prison.
wait till you get
She is
out?
dedicated to working on her heart this time. She sees a kid crying for ice cream and kindly offers to buy one for her. However, the shopkeeper returns her extra money, saying that she isn't pretty enough for beauty tax. Moreover, some kids from behind her call her ugly. Hearing this, the
Wow, so in just about 2 years or 4 years, I don't know, I've forgotten how long she spent in prison, the beauty standard has just evolved. Okay.
beautification of heart leaves Aiko's mind. She gets offended, claiming that she is still very beautiful. But it turns out that in the last 2 years, the standard of beauty has changed completely. Since men favored ugly women because of the beauty tax, they became more popular and are now considered more beautiful than traditionally beautiful women. Amazed at the new world, Aiko hands the kid her ice cream, but she refuses to accept it because of Aiko's ugliness. Subscribe for more videos like
Nah, this movie is hilarious. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 because what? The hilariousness or hilarity, whatever the word is, of the plot. So if you think about it, really society is just about how, like, societal standards, like the standard of beauty is really stems from societal standards. Because who knows, in the next year or two, we can wake up and say that people with a particular kind of hair are the most beautiful people in the world, and people will take it. We can wake up and say people with only BBLs are the most beautiful people in the world, and the whole world will just accept it because mainstream media will try to push that and show that in our faces through TV, radio, and people just take it and eat it up. Just like in the past, like 10 to 15 years, the standard of beauty was like the Kardashian, BBL, big bust, and all of that. And everybody, you saw a lot of women going in for BBLs. I wonder why. You know? The movie is interesting. Guys, let me know, did you enjoy the beauty tax? I had a good laugh. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I would go watch the full movie. You know? I would go look for the full movie and watch it if it's something that is accessible to me where I am. I would go. Let me know, have you watched the beauty tax? What do you think of this recap? And if you have watched it before and perhaps you think this recap left out some details, that will help us appreciate the movie even more. Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching with me. Please do leave a like on this video. And until our next watch party and reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Bye guys.